Welcome to the
Emancipating Scion!
It feels nice to be on the same page.
It does. But we are missing that little je ne sais quoi.
Alright.
Okay, so as we left off, you had yourself knocked out and broadcasted your desire to ask Mafala's aid into the broader dreamscape.
Yeah.
And awoken, dreamless.
Would I have had the chance to spell out what my request was?
I'll leave it up to you.
I think that like the dreamscape has already appeared as sort of a like a place of like darkness and fog.
Mm-hmm.
At least the way I remember you describing like a lot of my interactions with Mephala. So I think while being there but not necessarily having like met Mephala, Gladys would have just sort of like shouted in the dark, "Hey, my powers are dangerous now. Can you send me like I request Daedra to help me on my quest. Just people that I won't accidentally kill when I use my powers, please. Mephala, are you here?" And then I think I would have repeated that a couple of times and adding, "Oh, and if you have a steed, send me a steed."
Okay. So as we discussed, you wake up. You have a conversation with the Argonian tending the cook pot, who alludes to having herself overheard some of this conversation.
Which parts? I was out for a while. Just calling, just my voice calling Mephala, right?
Your voice in my head, yes.
Okay.
The specifics were indistinct.
Okay. Well, that didn't work. Thank you for watching over me while I rested, and I'm gonna leave so you don't have to deal with this weird stuff anymore. And yeah, I think I'm gonna hurry out of like head out of Caldera. I think it's for Gladius it's a little embarrassing to like to have his powers acting so weird. So I think in this moment he's not trying to have a conversation with anyone. He's like, shit. Because I'm like, Gladys feels that he should be reliable to the people here. Because like they're in a more dangerous situation. Like they're in a more precarious situation now, I think, without like with the threat of like violence for their employers to get them back. Ex-employers, I want to say, very generously. And since my powers are like likely to hurt people around me, I think that like Gladys is like, I gotta like, I don't know how to have the discussion of you can't rely on me anymore. So I think he's just trying to like head out. So I'm gonna use my renowned move, Servant, Once per section, I can ask, how can I pass unnoticed? I'd like to use that now.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the best way to pass unnoticed is definitely going to be to avoid as many townships as possible. Luckily for you, you've actually traveled through this part of the wilderness once before, though a little bit unwillingly. So are you trying to go completely unnoticed, or just like sort of avoid people?
I think...
Is this leaving Caldera you're trying to go unnoticed?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is leaving Caldera first.
Well, I think... It is early morning, so most folks have... are working on the morning meal. You know that there's a guard kept on the back tunnel, as well as a watch on the main chasm, and of course the ladder gets dropped and lifted as needed. But it does seem like there are parts of the outside of the crater of the crater that could be traversable from the inside but not the outside. So as long as you were willing to basically take the fall on the far side, there are sections where you could climb over and just drop out of the caldera.
Okay. Yeah, I think with... I don't know that I still have Featherfall. Don't think we've established that. I think realizing this, Clantis is just going to leave through the tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. I'm headed for the north.
Okay.
For I'm gonna try to go up towards the ash, to go northeast up into the ashlands, and then from there straight north to where the camp is supposed to be around at this time.
Okay. So passing through the back tunnel, you do get some acknowledgement from the guards on shift, but it's little more than just a nod. They're not as worried about people leaving this way. Though one of them does mention, he says, "Are you a union member, and are you relinquishing your membership by leaving?"
Oh. No. I know I look a little bit worse, but it's me, Sjoldak, but I'll be back.
My job is to ask, are everyone who leaves, are you a union member?
I don't have a share of the... I don't have a share. Maybe I should... I'll get one when I come back next time.
All right. So you set out to the north, and you said you want to try to shoot for the more ashlandsy side. So you head north from the mine, and where the road diverges, one sign pointing to Nisus, where you've been before, and the other towards Aldrune, and within the mountain the mountain range that contains the worst of the ash storms, you take that more eastern route into the stony, ash-laden portions of Ardenfell. It had been an overcast day to start, cool and breezy, when you had left the mine complex, but as you journey deeper into the ashlands, the wind continues to kick up, First you draw your scarf over your face, but very quickly visibility is down to almost nothing. It's almost impossible to even open your eyes. But your blind sight is very clouded by the wind, by the ash pelting you in all directions. You're obscured in every conceivable way, deafened and blinded.
On the other hand, Gladius is thinking, this is such a hostile environment, and surely nothing's evolved to be at home in this ecosystem. I don't see any plants anywhere. So Gladius is actually like, this is away from civilization, but it does, like, until I see proof that there are beasts around here, I almost feel a little bit like not in the wilderness. You know what I mean?
Oddly reassuring.
Yeah, like blinded, deafened, and certain that if there are beasts around, they're also blinded and deafened, and they probably won't spot me. So yeah, just like very uncomfortable, but also like in a very weird headspace of like I'm not afraid, and like isolated but not afraid.
So what, if anything, do you do to try to deal with this brewing ash storm? It's hard to tell how much worse this is going to get, and it's already pretty bad.
I think that I'm going to try to just power through it, basically. I'd like to act impulsively. I think Gladius is like I'm just gonna walk until I find some shelter, or the ash abates.
Okay, so the advantage you seize is some kind of shelter.
Describe the emotion that drives you and answer one. I think the emotion that drives me is like weirdly like this sense of like this false sense of safety. Yeah, the advantage that I try to seize is actually like not shelter, but like progress in the journey, like progress.
Okay. Yeah.
What trouble hits you hard and fast?
So, let's say, given the very low visibility, and conveniently you are walking down a foyada, so there is a little bit of a stone wall that you've been able to trail your hand down to try to continue your fairly foolish attempts to keep going through the storm. But you feel the wall resolve into stone smooth by hands. And while it's, once again, your sight is very low, so you're having to go just based on the texture that you can get through with your hands, your first thought is that this feels like an ancestral tomb. A place that you've at least had a modicum of safety before. So this at least might be a good place to be able to stop and rest for a little bit without turning back. So it is, not losing your progress.
Okay.
Do you choose to enter?
I feel like if I say no, you are going to inflict strain. So I'm gonna.
That's a good guess.
I'm gonna be like, no, this is getting bad enough that I'm considering going back and losing my progress. I think, well, I'm gonna try to stop here. Yeah.
Okay, so the door opens easily under your touch. You do hear the sounds of spirits echoing from within the tomb. But much more notable than that, directly in the small entrance hall to triangular plinths, much like in the previous tomb you'd entered, spaces for candles and incense, but occupying the center of this space. Continue.
The one that I had entered with Nilos.
Yes, the one you entered with Nilos looking for the skull.
Yeah.
Okay. But occupying the center of this this entrance gallery is what seems to be a boy and his dog. Very strange boy and a very strange dog. The boy has huge horns curling up from his forehead. Completely not dressed anything like the weather, and his eyes are a bright acid green. The dog, in turn, with its mouth closed, mostly just looks hairless, though its features are a little odd. But it opens its tongue to pant and...
Okay. I immediately...
But they're seated, both of them, looking at each other over what looks to be some kind of game board.
Okay. I would like to... I don't think this is recognize a god. I'm trying to do the equivalent of divine sense is please tell me this is a Daedra, not a beast. So I'm gonna feel someone or something out. I'm gonna try when I'm looking at this bear. I'm gonna try to be like, hello, and gauging reaction, body language, things like this. Okay. I think I'm focusing on the dog right now. Here's the thing, it looks more cat-like in the way that it's arching its back, and it looks like a hairless cat more than a dog, just based on the image that you've showed me. So I'm but I'm gonna say dog because that's what you told me. So yeah, you answer 1. What feels dark or unnerving when I peer deeper? I think, and what feels welcoming on the surface? I feel like I'm going to just say what feels welcoming on the surface is that I identify this isn't a beast. And you tell me what feels dark or unnerving when I peer deeper.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty reasonable, you were Gladius is so worried about this, yeah. But looks pretty non-beast-like on even just a second casual glance. So, let's see,
I don't know, clarity. The slitted eyes, it doesn't have horns, and yeah, this looks like it could have evolved naturally.
I mean, maybe, yeah. But so the boy and the dog over their game board. The boy moves one of the pieces. The dog reaches its tongue out and picks up one of the small pieces, all of whom are humanoid figures. and puts it in proximity to one of the boys. There's a scream and a cry as the dog's piece attacks the boy's piece, and you can see a pool of blood gather on the game board before it sort of washes away, and the other piece continues staying there, but lifeless and prone. So
did they animate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the piece is semi-animated. The victor in this confrontation becomes frozen in the pose in which they struck their opponent down. The dog then sits back and cocks its head at the boy across from it. Its eyes are intelligent, and somehow you get the feeling that something just died.
Yeah, but it's the thing of when I summon a homunculus or unseen helper, it's alive for a while and then it dies. It's a creation of magic that is alive-ish but doomed to die very quickly, when the spell ends and everything. So I look at those chess pieces and I'm like, yeah, but also how alive were the chess pieces in the first place?
Hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I do hope it is dark and unnerving.
Yeah, no, I just Gladys is I don't think I would be so callous as to play a game like this when I could just have wooden pieces. Gladys felt bad for sending the unseen helper down into the mine to blow the whole thing up. Yeah, Gladys is a little bit unnerved, but isn't going to be too judgy. I think I step forward and I say, hello. It's unusual seeing people under those circumstances. Are you the allies I requested?
The boy holds up a finger, looks down at the board and says, blast it, Barbas. I don't see how I'm getting out of this one. Well, he puts his finger at one of the pieces, and upon touching it, its neck snaps and twists, and the piece falls down dead. The rest of the pieces then break their stasis and look like they're about to begin to run away before they vanish from the field. As the field itself also begins to vanish. The boy looks to you and says, the real entertainment has arrived.
I think I've got... Yeah, I think I look behind me just to make sure that he does mean me. Turn back around and I'm gonna say, I don't know if I'm in much of a performing mood. I'm getting my native voice back by hanging out in the storm like this. I'm Gladius.
Vile.
Vile?
Vile.
Okay. I'm gonna shake Vile's hand, and this is Barbed Cat.
Barbas.
Yeah, yeah. yours is gonna be easy to remember.
You can't remember Barbus? He's got a barb ass. Look at that. Barb ass.
Oh, you know what? Your I should have. They okay. I think. Thank you, Frank. So yeah, I'm gonna look at these two. There's a moment of like. I'm uneasy, but I'm not putting my hand on my sword yet.
Okay. Vile says, looks to you and says, besides, I'm here as the answer to your prayers.
Okay.
A little birdie told me that you were looking for some assistance in traversing long distances and don't want to be near any mere mortals in case you're out of control. So, I have a proposition for you. I have a servant that I would like to lend their assistance to you. They are quite skilled in the manner of carrying folks on their backs and moving quickly through harsh conditions.
I look at the barbs on this thing's back.
Oh, not Barbus. No. I couldn't be parted with him for so long. Though a good guess. No. Someone much less important. I couldn't bear to lose you, could I, Barbus? And he reaches out and scruffs behind his ears. Barbus's tongue lolls out.
This would be very wholesome if it didn't remind me of a humanoid's interaction with a beast. And that is like
Yeah.
It's an intelligent creature who's acting like a furry. Sorry, like a beast.
Vile says, No. They'll be outside once the storm clears.
Okay.
My only condition is that you ensure that they are as hale and hearty when you get where you're going as they are when you first meet them.
Well, okay, the problem with that is that my powers have a lot of side effects, right?
No. You asked for help, didn't you?
Yes, but I asked for I know Daedra can't die all the way out of their home realm.
But it's such a hassle having to find someone who can bring them back here or force their way through themselves. No. If I give you this help, then the servant will be on this plane and in their current state when you get where you're going.
Sorry, that's I don't have enough control over my powers right now to guarantee that. I'm gonna have to pass.
You don't want to play? You chicken? Afraid of a little game?
Honestly, yeah, I don't want to risk anybody's lives unnecessarily right now. I've hurt a lot of people that were my allies.
Blah. My allies are sad. Oh no, I don't care.
My friends in the Mages Guild are dead. I got a very smart necromancer killed with my.
Boring. Barbus, I thought this would be fun. You said this would be fun. Barbus looks to you and says,
Do you work for your...
Well,
Do you
I
work
suppose
for Miss Fama?
Barbas turns and looks at and says, "I don't think he has any idea who you are, Clavicus."
Can I recognize a god? Okay. What did he just say? He said Glabados?
Clavicus.
Clavicus Vile. I've heard that before. Now it rings a bell. Okay. Clavicle. Okay. I'd like to recognize a god.
Yeah, it'd be bad if you didn't know. You got a +1.
I'm not in or near their domain. I'm not familiar with the gospel. I think that, yeah, like the only one whose gospel I'm familiar enough with would be like Morehouse's and the Imperial cult. Okay, let's go. So that's a 6, and with a +1, that's a 7. Okay, clear interpretation of the omens. Ask your GM a single follow-up question of your choosing, and they must answer honestly. Okay?
Okay. What's your follow-up question? Or I guess I'm giving you a clear interpretation.
Yeah. Clavicus Vile is...
Well, it's perhaps not a surprise to say that Clavicus Vile is a Daedra, given the horns and the general odd vibes at play. But Clavicus Vile is in fact a Daedric prince. You are speaking with at least an avatar of one of the greater princes of Oblivion. More directly than you ever have done.
Okay. Is his name a misnomer?
Clavicus Vile, okay, if that's your clarifying question.
No, sorry.
Clavicus Vile is the Daedric prince of bargains and deals. But his name is still perhaps not necessarily a misnomer. Very few stories of those who deal with Vile end well.
Okay. Thank you.
But not all. Some go incredibly well.
Yeah. What's my follow-up? My follow-up is how many my follow-up is, why do I not know any story about people just not making a deal? What happens to the people who don't make deals?
Well, at a minimum, it doesn't make for much of a story.
Yes. What I want to know is, I want to get the... Yeah, my question is specifically what happens to... What happens to someone who doesn't play?
I think the most I can tell you is that you've never heard any stories one way or the other, which could best be felt as damning evidence. I did sort of give you a bit of a freebie question in that I clarified the the Vile.
Okay. Yeah. Some people do make it online.
Yeah.
I think Claudius has Claudius is going to say, I appreciate you coming here all this way to make this offer. I'm sorry to have bothered you. I meant to call somebody else. And I can't take this deal as it is right now.
He's really turning us down, isn't he, Barbas? Well, I guess no one ever said that these mortals were particularly intelligent. But they can be fun sometimes. What a shame you had to be boring. As he says that, his eyes...
What other deals do you usually make with someone for for giving them a ride.
Wow. Deal's unique to the person. Most folks aren't just asking for a simple ride. I've granted wealth beyond measure, skill and talent beyond description.
Right, but what's the usual price for those?
Depends. In particular, one person asking for skill and talent received for the low price of their own work and effort. Of course, everything else that went wrong after that, I can't barely be held responsible for. After all, I upheld my side of the bargain. It's not my fault that they felt useless when they realized that it wasn't their own talent at all.
I'm not giving up the fruit of my labor for anything. That's not the deal for me. It might be a good deal for someone else, but thank you.
Fine. Well, if you won't deal, then there's always other kinds of entertainment. Right, Barbas? And his hands begin to glow green, and his eyes take on more and more of an unearthly sheen. And he's going to let's see. He's all about deals balance. So he takes his two fingers and crooks them awkwardly, and you feel almost drunk, like your inner ear is broken, and your balance is impossible. And you fall to the floor as things sort of twist and tilt around you. Mark one strain.
Okay. Do I feel as though I'm losing consciousness, or just like the...
You feel incredibly dizzy. You're on the ground. You're on the back foot, and it's going to be difficult to move forward from here. But
okay, I think. Okay, that feels like an attack. And yeah, that feels like an attack, but like Gladys has a moment of is the smart play to run now, but I've never let's see. I think that, yeah, in this moment, Gladius is like, well, there's a storm behind me, and there's someone who's attacking me, but not powerful enough to have killed me in one blow in front of me. I think I'm going to challenge someone dangerous. It's not in front of an audience.
If you want to try to confront Clavicus, you're probably going to be inflicting violence.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna get up and say, this is so what? A deal's happening anyways, and we're exchanging blows now. I'm gonna basically draw my sword and just try to slice him in half. Trading blows. It's a type of deal. So I think that Gladius is going to inflict violence. I do think he wishes me harm, I do think that I'm somewhat desperate with the storm at my back, and it is pretty personal in the sense that like he's come to make me an offer to tempt me for my soul, and like and he's calling me not smart, like for turn like there's a lot of stuff in this interaction that make it personal, I think.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
So +3.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 9 on the dice. +3 is 12.
Okay.
All right. On an overkill, you lose yourself to righteous fury. The GM will tell you the costs of your divinity.
Okay. So you sort of okay. I like that. Okay. So you go to strike Clavicus, and in fact do pass the blade all the way through the body of this child, horned child, Daedric prince, but a child nonetheless. And as your blade begins to strike through, you sort of feel a fugue come across yourself, almost like you're out of control of your actions. You swing the blade and take the head off of Barbas as he jumps for your throat, and drag your blade across his belly as well. Both of the bodies leak green ichor before sort of vanishing into a golden smoke, but you don't stop. You keep going deeper into this tomb, eradicating the guardian spirits that have been bound to this place. The energy around you is so violent that it's destroying urns, making a mess of this place that is, at the end of the day, a tomb for a family. You were just filled with this burning, with this rather almost detached sense of destruction, like it's coming from someone else. Like there's this cold rage that is bubbling from within you that you can't recognize yourself in. You tear through the rest of the tomb and find yourself at the the large ash pit at the bottom, and regain control of yourself, surrounded by the remains of the guardians of this place.
Okay. I think in the previous tomb that I visited, there were some tapestries and things like this. I think that Gladius regains his senses to see that he has destroyed some beautiful artifacts, some pieces of funeral art, and something that is part of his culture. I believe that ancestral tombs, that Ashlanders also have ancestral tombs. Or is this...
They have something like it, yes.
Okay. Not
generally burial caverns, but very similar traditions.
Okay, got it. But yeah, I think that it's a difficult moment for Gladius to feel like he's destroyed something he didn't mean to, and that it's not just his powers. He's less in control of his self, and yeah, I think that Gladius is going to run back out, when you feel a lot, when he feels such loss of control, he's like, what can I do? What can I decide to do? And is just going to like act impulsively and make a terrible decision just to have the feeling that he made that decision himself, right? That he was in control of that. So yeah, I'm going to
This feels like you're tempting fate if you're running back out into the storm.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm trying to get through the ashlands in in a couple of days.
Yeah. With limited preparation, no one as a guide, and willingness to travel through storms. I'll give you, you're far from any god that wishes you harm. You've dispelled Clavicus for now, at least. You do have other options, and you don't have any allies, so just a +1.
Yep. That's a 12 on the dice. I rolled a double 6. Okay, on an overkill, you triumph over this specific ordeal, but attract the attention of your enemies. They react immediately.
Okay. Okay. See, there's two directions I can go with this, and I feel like one is less interesting than the other, but that's the one that's more punishing, and this is supposed to be an overkill. Okay.
Do you want us to take 5 minutes?
Yeah. Let's give it a second. All right. So. First, I have to ask, because the journey to where you're going, in the best of circumstances, would still take almost 4 days. You are not in the best of circumstances. Are you trying to find safe places to sleep and pushing through, or are you pushing through?
I'm pushing through.
Okay, so
I'm gonna be pretty exhausted in the end, but. Yeah, I think Claudius is Gladius is trying to put his mind to something and actually do it himself without any loss of control, even if it's very hard. So yeah, okay. Very, very much tempting fate.
Okay. So as you travel, you spend a few days sort of wandering through various foyadas. Eventually you see a silt strider moving, and from a distance are able to follow that to sort of get back on the path and realize the direction that Margan lies in, and use that to sort of push through into the correct foyada so that then you can approach the ashlands from the right direction. But as you go to move around a particular crest in the ridge within the foyada, you feel something hit your side, small and pointed, and as you reach back, you feel a dart extending from your neck. Someone is attacking you.
Okay. I tried to grab it and look at it to see if it's a sting, a poison dart, or something.
Let's see. It's hard to tell just from a glance if it had any amount of poison on it. It does have some rather specific carvings. You don't have enough time to inspect them further, though.
It's a dart.
Yes.
Right. Just checking, because like.
Definitely a dart. Yes.
Cool. Okay. Do I? Can I make a move?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. I already used the once per session question. Oh.
How can I make them trust me?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm. I think Gladius tries to like take cover and I'm gonna try to connect with someone. I'm gonna like try to call and say, wait, don't attack. What makes you think I'm an enemy? And I think what still divides us is the fact that we haven't been introduced. And that's gonna be what I'm gonna answer, which means you've got to answer what common grounds do we share.
Let's see. Okay, so what are you telling them that's intimate?
Huh?
Tell them something intimate.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this is more of a feel someone or something out.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. What feels dark or unnerving when I peer deeper? I think what feels dark and unnerving is the willingness to attack first, ask questions later, and that scares me. So you gotta answer what feels welcoming on the surface.
Which is a little difficult in the context here. So as you turn and try to get at least some cover, but also get some guess as to who this is, where they're coming from, you see a shrouded, hooded figure in black and red leathers.
Kinky.
I think what feels welcoming on the surface,
Not a beast.
there's yes, not a beast. Something about the armor that they're wearing, the way that they're covering their face, almost it niggles some kind of memory from a very, very long time ago.
Familiarity.
Yes. So you've got a little bit of familiarity with this, but it's fairly vague, and the memory isn't quite coming to you.
Okay.
But they are, regardless of the specifics within that memory, despite that familiarity, you're definitely getting more confirmation of the impression of danger.
Okay. Do I mark strain for the hit I just took, or is it maybe?
I think it was a somewhat glancing blow. Despite having surprise, you are still fairly heavily armored.
Okay. In this case, I think I'm going to inflict violence.
Okay.
They wish me harm.
Yeah.
I don't think it's personal, because I barely even remember having seen this type of clothing before.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm desperate, although like.
At least not yet.
Yeah, I am somewhat hungry and thirsty from having walked for so many days, but I don't think that puts me at desperate. Okay, that's a 4 plus 1. That's a 5. The opposition seizes on a flaw in your approach. You suffer true strain, and the GM will describe the corner you're backed into.
Okay, so what does Gladius try to do?
Gladius is going to try to I think the typical approach of charging in with my sword and smiting a couple of times. I do try to call upon the magic of darkness to use the echolocation as my combat advantage, but yeah, I don't know if that works.
Okay, so as you charge out from behind cover, you realize that the shrouded person throws a second dart, which manages to hit inside the hinge of your elbow since your arm is raised. And as that connects, you feel a lance of pain that seems to flow from that point to the one behind your neck, like a circuit being completed. And you spasm and take 2 strain.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I'd removed the one from my neck to see.
Well, where the injury had been.
Where the injury happened. Okay. Okay. Okay, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to. Okay. I would like to wield a power.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that this person is holding their darts like in a pouch that's behind them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like Gladius identifies there's a connection between the darts and the wounds that the darts inflict, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I felt that. I think I'm going to reach out with the my powers that have to do with like connection and communion, and I'm gonna try to get the dart in my hand connected to the dart in this person's pouches, basically like inflicting the pain I just felt between here and there onto their legs from a distance.
Okay.
So I'm gonna wield a power.
So you're trying to make the darts commune with each other.
Exactly. Like yeah. So when you wield a power to do something, only a god can. Roll 2d6, add 1 for each true statement. I've not done this specific act before perfectly. I'm not desperate enough for this to work to mark a strain, because that would put me at 5. Am I close to a shrine, lair, or domain of the dog you took this power from?
I don't think so. You're pretty far from Balmora.
Cool. So let's do this. Okay, that's a 10. On a 10 or more, the GM will describe how you also drain, terrify, or wreck what's around you.
Okay. So while the assassin was connecting 2 darts and using your body, you're trying to connect 1 dart to a whole bag and through open air. So yes, what you do works excellently. The assassin's body like twitches uncontrollably. They fall from the ledge they've been standing on and like spasm with convulsions that twist their body into unnatural shapes. But more than that, the darts sort of explode outwards. There's a shower of rock and ash as a whole chunk of mountainside crashes down in a fairly violent rumble.
Okay. is the body still in enough of a piece to like search or
Oh,
identify?
very much under the rubble.
Yeah, that was gonna be my second question. I think that like Gladius is a little bit dazed by this, but is going to catch his breath, make a note of what the outfit looked like, and is going to like turn around and basically like look for a place to rest, a shelter. I'm not doing so good right now.
Okay. You can't recall having passed anywhere that could have even functioned as a temporary shelter anywhere nearby. You know that you are at least probably fairly close to the Earl Shalaku camp. You've spotted the pass out of the Foyata that's marked on your map.
Yeah, I think pushing forward is the way that Gladys thinks he'll reach safety. So I'm just gonna push through.
Okay. You push through, but then, that is to say, you've spent multiple days without sleeping, you've taken some pretty serious injuries, and you are continuing to pass through difficult terrain, which is not absent of additional threats. You have unfortunately had to confront many a cliff racer, many Kagudi, and Alit, another lizard-like biped. It has not been a pleasant time at all for Gladius. So, wounded and bloody and exhausted, you stumble your way through the Ashlands until you... let's see. Are you willing to consent to a little bit of a blacking out in the middle of the desert?
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
vibes? Yeah.
I don't want to use the move suffer your fifth strain right now, but that doesn't mean you can't like knock me unconscious. Consciousness and like
that has sort of been what I'd been looking at. I was just like, I don't think we need to go through the effort of the move, especially since we're not in like a combat type of situation. But I do kind of want the effect of a suffer your fifth strain.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm totally okay with like falling into unconsciousness. Okay. Yep.
So, you pass out. You come to, let's see, can you switch to something that feels a little bit more like in an Ashlander camp?
Yeah. You got it. This was like volcano ambiance. No, that's the same music. What the fuck are you doing? Cool.
Okay. You find yourself inside of a netch leather tent. Wind chimes are rattling above you. You are fully naked, but under a sheet. As you turn around, you could feel yourself on a thin leather bedroll. The remains of a fire are near you. Light is peeking through the dim light of an overcast day in the Ashlands, but light nonetheless. What do you do? You clear one. You're still at 4 strain. You're conscious.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm being in pain as I am, I'm just gonna try to get a feel for this space before I start like moving around and trying to do anything. So I'm gonna feel this place out. What feels welcoming on the surface, I think that Gladius, Gladius is alive, tended for, but what feels most welcoming is like spices and scents that I hadn't perceived since my childhood. So what feels dark or unnerving?
First, netch leather tents. These people might keep beasts. But also, B, the fact that you don't know where any of your arms or armor are. Even as you open your eyes and look around the room, this is a fairly bare tent, and there's nowhere that any of your possessions could be hidden.
Yeah. That is understandable. I think I try to get up. I'm trying to look for like something to drink. I think Gladys was woken by like how parched he is.
There is a water skin close enough to you that you're able to reach for. While you're in the middle of drinking, you hear some voices from outside the tent. One of whom says, in a language that you didn't know you knew. So you can understand, but it's a little, rather very rusty. But you hear a thick, heavy Dunmer male voice, the croakiest, crackiest you've ever heard, say, "The Ashcan has him under strict orders of no one is to enter until we've established his value as a hostage." A woman's voice replies and says, "You know better than to say anything like that to your wise woman. Be gone." And a moment later, a woman steps into the tent. She's tall, especially for a dark elf. Her hair is beaded and braided, very specifically drawn back in a pure shock of white. Her red eyes are sharp and intuitive. Her face is aged, which among dark elves indicates that this woman is probably north of 200. Her clothes are stitched leather and corded with tendons, as well as beaded with volcanic glass. She looks you over and says, "So you're awake."
I'm gonna bow my head and say,
She speaks in Cyrodiilic when she says, "So you're awake."
Okay. I'm gonna. Okay. I think. I'm. I'm gonna speak in Cyrodiilic too. I'm gonna bow and say, thanks to your people, I imagine.
Very much so. You owe much to the Urshulaku.
I am grateful. If there is something that I can do to like repay the saving of my life, I will do it.
Well, your arms and goods would go a great distance towards that, but it also remains to be seen of what value you as a person might have. We saw among your items,
Do you want to see the list of the items I was carrying? Because some of them might be a little incriminating.
Sure, go ahead.
I know I still had some of the one of the non-magic intern collars, or free. Sorry, I'm having to log into Roll20.
She says, you bear the armor of the Cyrodiils. Perhaps you are a legionnaire of some sort, though it looks as though you may be partaking in more local customs, given some of your items.
I used to be a legionnaire.
Well, let me be very blunt for you then, Outlander. Legionnaires are no friends of our people. And as of right now, not only are your assets being held in common for our tribe, but if you value your life, you'll tell us who would be best to send a ransom request to.
Caius Cosades, the Blade Spy Master at in Balmora, but the locals know him only as a scuba hound, so that's his cover.
Fascinating. You claim to be someone that the Blades would pay ransom to, and yet will so happily hand out the name of your spy master to an Ashlander. No, that is a valuable gift.
I know this sounds like I'm lying because of how readily I gave the information, but I'm telling the truth. Caius sent me here to try to understand some things about the culture of our people, and yeah, that's I don't think he would mind paying a ransom. Based on what I've seen, he's looking for excuses to give money to Ashlanders.
Our people, how interesting.
I grew up in a camp like this.
Is that true?
But for most of my life I was raised by the Empire. So may I ask for your name?
I am Sinamu Murpal. What name were you born with then?
I don't remember. I think it sounded something like Gladius.
Gladius.
Okay, hold on. Say your name again.
Sinamu Murpal.
Cinnamon. Got it.
Gladius what?
Well, okay, so my first name sounded like Gladius, so they gave me to a family whose last name was Gladius, so I went by Gladius for a while.
Interesting. Well, that name to Cyrodiilic ears, could resemble a few Ashlander names I know of. Children that have been lost.
I don't know how incriminating that is, but in my inventory I've got 2 daggers. Marianne's letter to Nemus that I didn't. 2 anti-magic intern colors, 1 wand of secret, the ring of the animal influence, herbalist kit. I still have the coin crest tattoo, the paper bird, the cape of mountebank. They've got a lot of very expensive magical items on their hands now.
Yeah, they're doing great.
Yeah. A decanter of endless water out here in the Ashlands.
Truly choice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like, if I don't even have my holy symbol, then yeah, that's I think like as far as like stuff that gives clues as to who I am, the holy symbol would be another one that's like pretty like obvious, or like the more clue telling to whoever was looting my body.
Mm-hmm. But she reaches a hand out towards you, doesn't quite reach all the way to you, and says, I feel your pain, my child, and it is one that far too many of our children have suffered as the Empire extends its clawed grasp. But you, unfortunately, are still now Outlander, raised by Outlanders. And you say you come here on behalf of the Blades, which is to say, on behalf of the Emperor himself.
It's who is paying for me to come, but I suspect his motives are otherwise. I'm not the most valuable asset, and he's put a lot of resources into saving my hide quite a few times.
And yet I suspect you don't come to me on his orders alone.
No, I wanted to understand where I'm from, and I wanted to I wasn't certain I was going to make it here alive. I just wanted to be my powers have grown a little bit dangerous recently, and I wanted to be away from people, and but this is, I feel, a sign of fate that I'm not meant to die, that I'm gonna have to try to find a way to interact with people safely.
You were found by a scouting party. There was the feel of an earthquake that did not come from the direction of the mountain, and 2 of our scouts had been sent to investigate. They came across you in the wastes, but as they did still complete their investigation, they found a hardened piece of Foyota cliffside had fallen directly on top of a Dark Brotherhood assassin. Do you have something to do with that?
Yeah, I caused that collapse. Dark Brotherhood, but they're my buddies, foe.
Your friend of the Dark Brotherhood?
Apparently not.
strange company you keep, the Emperor's Blades, the Dark Brotherhood. And you claim to have been an Ashlander yourself.
You meet a lot of weird people as you travel around. I've gotten all the help I could to try to get where I'm going, which I guess is here, but also I've got duties to like other people. But yeah, hold on. Give me 1 second. I don't remember exactly. There's something I gotta reread real quick. Okay. Impress the tribe, speak to a wise woman about the Nerevar cult north of the mountain east of the Foyara. Okay. Can you tell? I had been looking into the Nerevar's cult, and I wanted to ask a bit more about it.
That is a conversation best had with members of the tribe, and certainly not a hostage. We will speak more.
Okay.
Gladius.
Thank you for letting me keep my journal. Thoughtful gifts. Coin is not often used. Nerevarine cult is a minority of Ashlanders. That's what I'd written down from the last from my conversation with the dude in the rat.
Yes, Haswarzim Zubani.
Yeah, Haswarzim Zubani. Yeah, the good place to stop.
I think so. I'm getting pretty tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? As she stands, one more thing, just one more thing, briefly. She stands where she had like knelt next to your reclined form, and she says to you, switching to the Ashlander language, to Old Valathi, she says, "May your skies stay clear." And you feel a memory bubble under your skin. And what do you say?
May the ash come off your clothing easily.
Okay. So that's officially the traditional greeting. Or like,
okay, sure.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Cool.
Okay, cool.
I think that's my like this thing where you took whatever I was saying to be the official greeting. I think is a star. My wish. Okay, I get the sense that following the resolutions of the moves isn't something that is easy for you.
It is,
and we're like, because like there's a sort of like rigidity to the way the story has to unfold in a Morrowind sense of style, in a Morrowind sense, and that you're like at odds with the system at times.
Yeah,
my wish is to try to like find a better like balance.
It is something that I am a little pushing up against, but I feel like it is a much more manageable difficulty than what we were running into with like D&D issues. On the one hand, I feel like so my star is definitely like I'm really enjoying the role play, and the more you get into describing things, the more fun I'm having. I feel like you're also having a little bit of difficulty, like just like you're picking an action, but a lot of times not quite describing it. And like I feel like those things sort of play off each other. Like we sort of both have kind of the same weakness in that we're thinking of it a little bit mechanically as opposed to like a storytelling device.
Okay.
And I think it's something we can both work on a little bit. I'm working on it. I hope that the assassin was at least an interesting option when it comes to having tempted fate and failed. Yeah. Or whatever.
I mean, that gives me at the very least, like, okay, so not having the names of my enemies, you know what I mean? Like, there's a couple of moves that have to do with your enemies moving in on you, and now having a name tied to that is good, because it means I've identified these followers of Mephala are like enemies of, are my enemies for some reason. That I'm excited for that because it means that you can use that move, like that it's going to be easier for you to resolve that the consequence of a move that says your enemies move in. Right?
Yeah.
Or use that weakness or
the more options I have, the easier it is. Like that's I think that's one of the tensions that I'm feeling is like, oh,
who are my enemies, like and who are their agents and things like this. Like
yeah, like the best that I came up with, you know, for sort of the consequence of the Wheel of Power from last game was like, yes, having another Daedra show up and like, I mean, Clavicus isn't necessarily an enemy, but his ends were opposed to yours, and he thought that you could be a fun tool to achieve his, and that's like an enemy. He didn't wish well for you.
Yeah.
So that was the most interesting like resolution that I could think of for that. But it is difficult sometimes on the spot to think of like
that's the that's one of the like harder things of like you gotta be like thinking on your feet and be ready to like adapt a lot in this sort of game in a way that isn't that like maybe can I suggest like looking at the moves and thinking of like a few examples for like how can on a miss for tempt fate the how can like my plan imploding manifest, or like making a list of the ways in which my powers might drain, terrify, or wreck what's around me. You know what I mean?
But I mean,
like,
these feel very like they are always very situational, and so like it's hard to sort of like plan ahead on them. Like I'm kind of always on the fly. Like I read through examples within the book, and like at this point I've thought of a couple. Some have been better than others, but like it's always going to be on the fly. I think I did pretty good with like, and the body gets buried, so like you lose access to potential information you might have had.
Yes. Yeah, I think that if you'd, I wish you'd made that more clear, because like I had to follow up with the question,
Yeah.
like because I was like, okay, how does this destruction, like how is this in any way bad for Gladius?
Yes.
That I rolled too
Yes.
well. So it felt like I was teasing the like consequence out of you.
Yeah.
And I like I also, okay, second wish. If Clavicus Vile comes around again with another deal offer, I would like for a deal that makes more sense for Gladius.
He tried to give you exactly what you were asking for.
No, I was asking for something that wouldn't, like, specifically I was asking for a Daedra thingy so that even if I unleashed my powers in a weird way, it wouldn't be dead, so that I wouldn't be responsible for something dying. And this dude was like, it will not die, but you're harming it the way you're afraid of doing will bring about a penalty.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like,
I
that's...
could have done better on the deal,
like,
yeah.
I
really was trying. I literally, like, was listening to, like, trickster mythology stories, like, trying to think of something good here, and it just, needed more work.
I'm sorry. my wish is for so
I thought that a Clavicus Vile thing would be the most interesting choice, but I was worried from the start about being able to come up with a good deal from him, and yeah, I think that worked out exactly like I was afraid it would. But it still seemed like better than just sort of repetition of like another sixth house thing.
Yeah.
That was what I was going in between, was Clavicus Vile or another sixth house attack. Like they track you down and they like kill all the people in the mine. But at that point I feel like we're getting a little repetitive. Yeah. And I like the intrigue of the mine, and there's enough other pressures on it that I didn't want to throw it away on sixth house right now. Like I wanted a little bit more of an emotional stakes there. I think there's more to build on. And so I went with the Clavicus Vile thing, but I didn't do a good enough job on the deal.
I think like if I'd been a Clavicus Vile in that moment, it would have probably been a deal like you can have this large, I don't know, like frog thing, but it obviously has some living creatures in its belly during the transportation, and what I'm doing is taking them to a port. They're Daedra that I'm taking to a portal where they can actually be killed. I'm like, like.
Yeah, I like that.
Like
that could have been good. Yeah.
That's not.
But
fully,
that still
like,
gives you the
through.
Same problem though. Like you're still then having to protect that Daedra because it's trying to get those souls to a place.
Yeah. I mean the
deals are hard.
Yes.
Like giving your players something, having a cost to it that may or may not be obvious to them.
No,
and
but
isn't enough to stop them from making it.
Okay, so one of the things that I found works well is to have a fake cost. Okay, so World of Darkness. I did a Vampire the Hunter campaign years back where like one of the players got access to a demon, and the demon was like the most powerful stuff I can grant you. I can grant you immortality in the you can't die from wounds sense. You will always heal from any wounds. and the cost was you gotta sacrifice a human in my name specifically, right? The mechanically, knowing what I knew about the rules, the only way for a demon to grant that power was for the demon to possess to transform the human into one of the possessed, basically becoming a parasite that could influence the human's condition, that was always a back passenger that allowed it to like make commentary on the campaign, make a lot of like snide remarks and stuff like this. But my like knowing how dangerous the campaign was in general, the player was more than happy to be like, I'm gonna kill a human and sacrifice it and get that power, and then woke up the next day with Archermark being like, "Hi."
Yeah.
There's like the cost wasn't wasn't just what it looked like. There was an added layer of, oh yeah, there like the way that I achieve this power, that I can give you this power is by doing those very specific things. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I was planning on, like, essentially, I wasn't just giving you a free mount that would get you there, no problems. Like, the complication there was going to be that this mount is actively hostile to, like, regular human beings, and, like, throw victims in the path and make you pick between, like, whatever consequences that your deal with Vile would have and these innocent travelers that your demon mount is trying to kill.
Yeah, that feels like a reverse escort mission.
Basically, yes.
Where I'd be, like...
Keep this thing from killing people.
It's an escort mission where I'm pulling the cage up with the mount imprisoned inside behind me, and suddenly I've just made a deal to pull the chariot for my mount,
which could have been fun. Could have been funny.
Yes, but Gladius sees this deal and is like, that's
bad deal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad deal.
Yeah. Which, I mean, in fairness, basically, at least Oblivion and Skyrim, you are much better served as a player just turning down Clavicus Vile's deal.
Yes, but is it obvious when they're being offered? Because to Gladius, this was like, I don't know, a little bit too obvious that it was. No, that's.
I mean, sometimes kind of obvious in that Clavicus Vile's the one offering you the deal.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, one